Definitely want to check out gorilla animal memes for more animals like this. Little pocket gorilla in your house, in your living room. It's the closest thing you can get to a gorilla in your living room right here. This is Sammy. She's an American bully. She's got a slight underbite. You see a slight underbite there? Very gentle girl with humans. She's working on getting better with small animals. She's not good with fireworks. She's a great example of man's best friend. Not really pack orientated. She's actually a really mobile version of a American Bully. A lot of the American Bully breed is unable to walk for extended periods of time. She's a very good on a leash. She's a very good walker. Do you need a bath? What do you feel about bats? Her eyes do glow in with the camera like there. Strange. She looks like a little gargoyle or gremlin. Her face seems to be derived more from the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, more so than like the Pit Bull. There are some people that believe that the American Bully descends directly from the American Pit Bull Terrier. I think that there's some other things involved. With the American Pit Bull Terrier, it's been very common for there to be intermingling between other bully breeds, such as the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, which often goes misattributed as an American Pit Bull Terrier, but is an entirely different breed and an older breed. You don't want that. You don't want that. Too often people just have this breed to breed them. And there's like a almost a counterculture of breeders that have their own events. They have their own kennel club. And at these events, dogs that are not able to walk well and are pushed out in carriages are celebrated. And people still want to breed specifically to those dogs. So it's not really a breed I'd recommend for anyone with an active lifestyle. But if you like the look of a pit bull but don't want all the activity that a pit bull needs, they might be something you want to look at. You want to go feed your babies? She has a few puppies. Just taking a little break right now. It's important while mothers are feeding to pamper them with adoration and affection, because those hormones and chemicals get passed on through the milk. And if she's stressed out, that'll also get passed on through the milk. So you want to keep her stress levels down. when she originally came to me, she had a lot of like anxiety issues where like as soon as you'd walk out the door, she'd start yapping nonstop. She got better about that. She's getting better with small animals. Before she was uh, every small animal was a target for her, and it's not because she's a bad dog. It's because she's probably had experiences where she had engaged with trampling and blunt force traumaing small animals, and when that happens, it's somewhat of a reward for them. And you'll notice right after the animal's no longer live and it, they'll just move on to the next thing. It's not like she meant to do that. She's very good with humans. And at the time that I found her, there was another American Bully type dog, more of a shorty pit, more of an older style of American Bully type dog. And that dog was human aggressive, very human aggressive. And I have the video of me removing that dog from a backyard. I was called to remove that dog on April 21st in a backyard that dog stumbled into. And it was like night and day between this dog and that dog. That dog was entirely human aggressive. This dog would never harm a human in any way. Maybe a small child. I'm not sure. I haven't tested her out in that way. I'm not really willing to put any child in harm's ways for experiments. There are different varieties of American Bullies. There's the exotic, which is now a separate breed, the exotic bully. And they have their own kennel club too, separate from the ABKC, which is the American Bully Kennel Club. That's actually what it stands for. It's run out of somebody's garage. Not knocking them, but that's how it is. Something's wrong with your eyes. Can you give us further diagnosis on this? Because I'm curious about her eyes too. That could explain some of her behavior towards small animals. She's able to see them, but maybe she's just seeing movement. I'm not sure because I see what you're seeing, and I'm not sure what that indicates. I'm getting covered in her hair. So I think we will both tend to some bathing after this. Your dog's eyes look like this. Do you know what they diagnosed your dog with? Is it like a cataracts? To me, it's imperceptive outside of the camera. My eyes don't look like that on camera, though. You might just have different kinds of eyes. Yeah, there is like a glow to them on the camera. Ah! Thank you for your message from Scotland. Looks like a beautiful country. We're very blessed to have been born there or to live there. I'm sorry to hear about your dog. It's certainly a tragic circumstance. Luckily, they are. Well, the silver lining to that is that they're more scent based, but still, you want them to have all their senses. A Bedlington Terrier, quite the rare breed here. I mean, you are in the area where there might be. Are there? Do you have more Staffordshire Bull Terriers than American Pit Bull Terriers in Scotland? It's. I wonder what the population difference is there. Because here the American Pit Bull Terrier is more popular, but sometimes Staffordshire Bull Terriers are misattributed as American Pit Bull Terriers. Yeah, so as I was drinking this, I noticed her eyes were able to follow the cup up, so it didn't seem to be like a visual impairment, or she could just be smelling what's in the cup. The reason I'm holding her today is because I usually don't have her like this to my chest and stuff, but she's exhibiting a high degree of emotionality today, and I just want to make sure that I can do all that I can to um, bring about positive emotions in her, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of affection to do that. She is feeding her babies, so it's important that she passes along good body chemistry within that milk. A stressed out dog will produce stress hormones that will go through the milk. You got a 3-month-old puppy and he eats his poop. It should be discouraged. It could be a nutritional imbalance, but it could be discouraged. It should be something that says discouraged. Sometimes at that age, they may have seen their mother doing that, and they learn through what they see other dogs doing, especially older dogs at that age. So it's something that they should be discouraged, but they're gonna grow out of it. Definitely make sure you're tending to their nutritional needs, and when you can, make a mixture of water, cayenne pepper, and put it in a spray bottle and just spray any uh, droppings in your yard. And when you do that, uh, they they'll be discouraged by that alone. Once they have a negative experience with it, they won't likely go to it again. But with one dog, especially a puppy that age, it's very important to keep your yard clean. Is positive reinforcement method for dog effective for dog or human reactivity? Depends on the dog. It depends on a dog. With certain behaviors, it's very important to teach that it's wrong rather than to just move the dog along to refocusing on something else, because then the next time they focus on, their focus goes towards that again. They haven't been taught that it's wrong. I always like to teach a dog that's not okay to mouth at the face. But until you actually teach the dog that's not okay to mouth at the face, it could happen. We got Zillow back here. That is something that's really important to stop, and for the dog to know that that's not okay. Because if that dog's ever not in your hands or ever in a situation where it's not in, for example, let's say animal control finds a stray dog, and that dog's human reactive, that dog's gonna get red listed. It's gonna be put on a list where it can only be adopted by a certain amount of rescues. A lot of rescues won't want that dog. It's very important to teach your dog that it's not okay to be human aggressive. Oh, over here. Yes, that's the bird. Over here is Zillow. We'll have some content on her later. Thank you for asking your question. That's Zilla. She's had her puppies. It was a large litter. She has puppies to tend to. She's taking a little rest right now. Dogs can eat a variety of things. You want to consult with nutritional experts in that regard. But things that are close to the paleo diet for humans, you want to remove any. So what you don't feed your dog is more important than what you do feed your dog. You don't want to feed your dog foods that have soy, additional food colorings. Corn is typically cited as an inflammatory ingredient for both dogs and humans. But they're not like a full-on carnivore like cats. They are more in the hybrid of between predator and scavenger. So they can eat a variety of things. You want to limit the, like if you're gonna feed any fruits, you want to limit the sugar intake. A little bit of fruit can offer good benefits in nutrition. The timing that you feed your dog is important. You want to make sure you follow different properties within Ayurvedic wisdom and traditional Chinese medicine, such as whether the food has cooling properties or heating properties, and that's going to tell you like how, what order you should feed for their digestive processes. There's a lot of benefits to autophagy, AUTOPHAGY, and you can look into that for your dog. This comes from fasting, so limiting your meals, if your dog's meal to one meal a day. There's benefits to that for humans and dogs. Carrots are good, especially your dog might be going into phases where your dog's going to be teething soon. And a frozen carrot can go a long way, frozen celery. Chicken and beef. Some dogs will have allergies. Chicken and beef. I try to stay away from pork for my dogs, because some dogs have allergies more often to pork. The best thing about learning is when you're truly interested in the subject, the most you'll come to learn is that there is so much more to learn. So I'm still learning every day. And when I don't know something, we'll figure it out together. Won't we? Another thing recommended for dogs that are eating their own waste is pumpkin. If you put pumpkin in their diet, it somehow, I guess, creates a taste within that will deter them just from that alone. And there's a lot of benefits to feeding your dog pumpkin. It's also pumpkin seeds are cited as a natural dewormer. So there are some benefits to that. If it is a dewormer, you might want to limit how often you feed them pumpkin seeds. I once had an American Bully that was much more adverse to the heat. I actually had to take him out of this climate that I live in during this time of year travel. And he was also he had an inability to walk. Like there was like he could walk for a little bit, and he was just planting himself down like a rock. And that's common in the breed. With her mobility, she's a bit of an outlier. She does have an underbite, and there's a slight sloping in her back. You got to take charge. If you have an anxious, aggressive dog when you're out on walks, you need to take charge of the situation. Take charge of the basically all mobility, all movement is going to go through you, and you have to take control of your dog. If a dog is to approach, there could be a reason your dog has anxious anxiety that's leading to aggressive behavior. May have encountered negative experiences with other dogs. It's important to stand in front of your dog before any interactions. You should be in between your dog and any potential threat. Your dog may protect you against a human, may offer some form of protection, but it's 100% your responsibility to defend your dog from other dogs while you're out on a walk. There's more negativity that can come from a dog interaction than positivity, not to mention the potential pathogens being passed along. So there's really no reason for your dog to be meeting any strange dogs. If your dog knows that you're going to be in control, your dog is going to be more likely to yield their control in the situation. They're stepping in for where they feel they have to defend themselves, or they have to prevent any threat from getting to them. And that's with their behavior. It's like somebody going into a prison and puffing their chest out because they want to deter violence from them. Yeah, all dogs only need nurturing, individualized support. So every single dog should be treated differently. They are individuals. We might have bred them in a way where they're going to exhibit traits of their breed, but they're all individuals, and they all need individualized support. Do whatever they're going through. And you'll learn a lot through anything that your dog throws at you. You're gonna, like, behavior wise, you're gonna learn a lot, and you're gonna go through your life. The next dog you encounter might be a different issue, and you're gonna learn with that dog. It's kind of like having a car that's always breaking down. You're gonna learn a lot about cars. And thank you for your question, Denise. A lab Rottweiler mix. It's gonna have a lot of great traits within that gene pool that your dog could have potentially pulled from. Nothing but great traits. You have like the service dog extraordinaire on one end, and then you have one of the most loyal dogs that there ever was on the other end. So that's a great dog to have. It sounds wonderful. If you live in an area where you encounter stray dogs and you don't feel completely comfortable standing in front of your dog in the event that you encounter another dog, using like a stun gun, the electrical type defense mechanism, that usually is enough of a deterrent for a dog. You're not going to want to use it. You'll be unlikely to make contact with a dog to need to use it. But pepper spray can be helpful to you, and that might help you feel more able to defend your dog in such a scenario. Because your dog itself is a very formidable dog. It might, at 80 pounds, like it might feel has the role of protecting, but you don't want your dog to feel like it needs to be out defending itself on walks. Looking forward to seeing you on more broadcasts. We do all different kinds of broadcasts. Sometimes we're just reading, and then sometimes we're doing play training hybrid type work with other dogs. And right now, we're just imparting some affection on Sammy. I'm not on Snapchat, but my Instagram, I have a few of them. There's ADONNIS. It's Adonis. I like the name on this channel. And then there is Canine Authority and 123 Pet Bulls for the #1 pit bull behavioral services in California. And probably beyond, because not too many people are out there specializing in pit bulls, but they have very unique traits. And you should have a specialist if you are dealing with any behavioral issues with your pit bull. Not that you are a pit bull. No pit in you. No pit in you. Sometimes you just find that area in the dog that the dog has pain. It's actually my favorite technique for making a dog bite proof. If you are finding the area of the dog that has pain and you engage in a deep tissue massage of that area, the dog sometimes might react to the pain of the initial onset of the deep tissue massage. And when they do that, that is a good time to teach them that it's not okay to bite, regardless of what's happening. So sometimes like a kid might fall on a dog or something, the dog's naturally going to react with a bite. You want to practice for those scenarios and make sure your dog is just desensitized to that and conditioned to not bite in those situations. It's really all conditioning. Desensitization. Every dog, like us humans, with all of our intellectual capacities that we can cite, we have traumas from our childhoods that extend far into our adulthoods. So often, widespread. The dynamics that these dogs faced when they were puppies, sometimes, if not tended to, those issues will live out through the dog's entire life. Just the dynamics that they're experiencing with their litter mates. How to stop your dog from gnawing on things. What's your dog chewing on? Is it furniture, shoes? It's going to require a lot of supervision. And that is something you can address with mostly positive reinforcement. Close. Mostly positive reinforcement. So when you catch your dog in the act, discourage and replace it with something that you want your dog to chew on. And you need to have that handy, and you need to be supervising while your dog's in this dealing with this behavioral issue. But it's innocent enough. You're just gonna have to be more vigilant and respond appropriately. We never want to punish our dogs. We want to just discipline them. And they need, if you take D, O, G, the D would be discipline, the O is obedience, and the G is guidance. We must offer them guidance. So we do that by being supervisors. Thank you for your question, Samantha. What do you say we start our next round of feedings? That sound good? Feeding time? We're going to start our next round of feedings. She has some puppies to tend to. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing your love with Sammy. And thank you for all your questions that you've had. We'll be back to do this again, and we'll be answering more questions. So if anything comes up between you and your dog, I'll be here.